Here we go. All right, 6:30, right on the dot. I'm on time. I've been doing pretty well with the time thing. How's everybody doing today? It is Monday, July 29th. Oh my God, where has July gone? It's rolling along. How are the state of all? I know those teachers are panicked when that clock turns to August. The panic sets in that they're down to just another month and a half off from school. But we're very teacher friendly here. We're pet friendly, teacher friendly. We're always kind to everyone. Here on the Steve Squared Show, in case you didn't know what you were watching, I'm your host, Funny Man Stevie K. I'm remoting it tonight, alone, solo, but not alone, not hand solo. I do have my buddy here. I do have Kermit with me. Very sticky. You can see Kermit. There we go. We'll put Kermit over there because Kermit was on my headlines for today's show. So before we even start, I know it's dinner time. Put that sandwich down. If you're eating a sandwich with cold cuts on it that are boar's head cold cuts, put it down immediately. Don't take another bite. If you do, at the end, underneath, I will have a phone number to a poison service. It seems here, as I'm reading to you, Boar's Head recalls deli meats. Oh boy, an estimated 1,600 people have gotten listeria, not hysteria. You're not going to get hysterical from eating a pound of Boar's Head bologna. That you might just get hysterical from any day of the week. Or Boar's Head salami, take your pick. What's happening here? It's actually, this should have been recalled centuries ago. It's actually focused on liverwurst. There's not a shocker right there. I mean, seriously, liverwurst? Are people still having a liverwurst sandwich? What is liverwurst? I don't know. So, anyway, the recall is of 200,000 pounds of meat linked to a recent listeria outbreak. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, boy. It applies to meats sliced at the deli counter, not pre-packaged meats. So, oh boy, it includes a number of multi-pound packages stamped with an August 10th sell-by date. Wow, so this does include some pre-packaged like bologna, garlic bologna. That's delicious. I always said, if you're having the family over for Thanksgiving and you're running out of food ideas, you serve a nice garlic bologna. Always goes nice. Beef salami, Cappy style ham, extra hot Italian and Cappy style ham. That's not good. So it says the company said customers should throw it away, burn it, serve it to someone you dislike is always an option. Maybe, you want to do one of those forensic true crime stories. Now, my mom's favorite Alfred Hitchcock is when the woman killed her husband with the frozen leg of lamb from the freezer, and then when the investigators came, she cooked the leg of lamb and served it to the investigators. Got rid of the evidence with a lovely side of mint jelly. This says throw it away and return to the store for a refund. That should be easy enough. And then health officials said you should clean out your refrigerators for any contaminants. Oh boy, the delis and the grocers, 50 Long Island supermarkets were reopened. Wow, there were 50. These were all a lot of Stop and Shop. Stop and Shop is in the process of removing all products from sale. Or actually what they're doing is they're running, if you see in your circular, this week it'll be 50% off Boar's Head deli meats, which is a great buy. I mean, 50% off for listeria is a good deal right there. I would do that. So you spend a little time in the bathroom. So anyway, if you are enjoying a cold cut sandwich, you might want to Put the sandwich aside and go get tested at your local poison control center. Isn't it such a struggle to live? Everything is hard, right? You work a long day, you sit down to a nice liverwurst sandwich. What could be better? You take a bite, you open the paper to read, and it says, if you're eating liverwurst right now, your time on this planet is ticking. It's never easy. And I'll tell you this, if they ever, I have people that come at me about Celsius. Oh, I read this, I read that. I do my due diligence, you know me. Celsius is fine. Stop coming after me, you're never going to change my mind. I go to bat with my non-sponsors on the show. So have you been watching the Ozempics? Not Ozempic. That's that stuff that makes you lose weight. I mean the Olympics, of course, not Ozempic. Ozempic's much harder to find than the Olympics, although the Olympics are on some weird channels. It was on MTV the other night. It's on, I guess nobody's really watching it, so they're on these obscure channels. It's on like ONE, isn't that Oprah's station? I saw some discus throwing on C-SPAN. I mean, I'm not sure if that was the Olympics or if they were just the Democrats and Republicans throwing like some discs at each other. That could have been the Congressional Olympics. Have you been watching? What have you been watching? Let's get an up-to-date. We're going to get I like to give live up-to-dates. I should have put a little Eiffel Tower behind me and given you the impression that I was working and reporting live from old Paris. But I'm not. You know I'm not. Let's see. Here we go. Actually, yeah, should we go to the medal count? Yeah, let's go to the medal count. Let's see what we got. Let's see how the U.S. is doing compared to the other countries. We're doing pretty good. The United States is, for total medals, in the lead. We have 20. 3 gold, 8 silver, and 9 bronze. Very good. That's a total of 20. France, the home country, is second with 16. Japan and China, 12 apiece, and Great Britain, 10. Interesting enough. But gold, we only have 3. We got to step it up in the gold. Japan has 6. I guess they're leading in gold. And good for Kazakhstan. They have 3 medals already. And a gold. Kazakhstan. I'm trying to look up obscure countries. That's where you need to live. The U.S. is too competitive. You're never going to make an Olympic team here. It's just overwhelmingly competitive. What are you going to do? Am I going to be able to make a team in this country? No. What I need to do is move to Moldova. This is a country I could live in. Moldova. It seems they have sent a team and they've won 2 bronze already. Uzbekistan. If you could spell it, you could live. Oh boy, Fiji. Could I do well in Fiji? They've won a silver. Wow, Poland's not doing it. Poland usually does that. Just wait till the weightlifting comes. Poland, they only have 1 medal now. I'm sure that'll jack up once those roid heads get going. Egypt has won. I'm very disappointed in Egypt. What else? They're too busy. Mexico has won. Slovakia. Spain only has 1. Unbelievable. Yeah, America Samoa has none. Angola none. Argentina none. They're too busy over there. There's a lot of countries here with none. The Bahamas don't have any. Bangladesh. I have some of my best t-shirts made in Bangladesh. They don't have, I mean, what more can we do for them? I haven't even heard of these countries. Bhutan? Anybody know where Bhutan is? Botswana? Yeah, there's a lot of countries here that haven't gotten yet. Chile? Colombia? No. Anyway. I really enjoyed, I was watching last night, and if you're keeping track, I was watching badminton. Those people are great. Did you ever play badminton? I mean, they're hitting. I can't even see the birdie. The birdie. They are hitting it so hard, and they're like 5 feet from each other, and they're smacking it. Now, as someone who has mastered the art of killing flies with a fly swatter, I feel that has a great story behind it, right? If I made the U.S. badminton team, and they could say his rise to stardom. He started out by swatting flies in his house, and now here he is on the peak of winning a gold for the U.S. That writes its own Hollywood script. And they could have someone play me, probably a Zac Efron, I think would be perfect. And, in my day, I have killed many a fly. So how easy could that? But these people are good. I'll tell you, very good in the badminton. And it's funny how different cultures, and I don't know if this is wrong to say, I don't think it is, but different cultures are very good in different sports. In Asia, in China, it's just badminton is a very big sport. Here we are very good in beer drinking and bowling. We do very well in that. Wednesday night beer pong. we are taking the gold in beer pong. College frat parties we do well here. Tanning, we are looking to take the gold. We do a lot of good things. Mall shopping. U.S. is fabulous in these things. Actually, we're doing pretty well. We won a swimming medal the other day. Bronze. The guy from France. Oh my gosh, I was watching Mochon. He finished, dried off, got his medal. They were still swimming. It was unbelievable. He was high-fiving people. They were still in the pool. I mean, it was incredible. But the U.S. got a bronze right there. Basketball should be pretty. I mean, they should be doing this in their sleep. They beat Serbia, which Serbia has Jokic, but it didn't matter. They won by like 20. This is going to be a joke. They'll win a gold. I'm sorry. I still am an advocate. I still feel that the Olympics are for college amateur athletes. And if you're playing, even if we send college and they send their amateur athletes disguised as in military, whatever they did, which is why this all started. U.S. got so upset over the past Olympics when other teams, especially Russia, would send these powerhouse teams, and they were professionals, but they would disguise them in the military, call them amateurs. So the U.S. is like, we've had enough, we're sending the Dream Team. It all started with the Dream Team, with Jordan and Bird and Magic and all of these guys. Ewing, but that to go over there and basically sleepwalk is not as inspiring. It's almost like if you don't win, it's embarrassing. So that's never a good feel story. We love underdog stories. We don't love what's to watch. I can't even watch these games. It's almost like watching the All-Star game where they were just like throwing it around, dunking. It's silly. Send college athletes. I could send 10 guys from the park down the block would probably win a gold. I mean, what are we talking about here? We have plenty of guys in the collegiate level that could easily win a gold medal. Put a team together. You could have one of the great college coaches get, whatever, and do it. I don't understand what's so hard. Hey, have you noticed who was partaking in the hosting and carrying of the torch? Snoop Dogg. What do you think of this? The Snoopster. The dog himself has been asked, and he did it on the opening ceremonies, hip-hop icon, business mogul, and of course, just a heck of a nice guy, Snoop Dogg, will be, or he did, carry the torch. Drop it like it's hot, man. So he was part of the cavalcade of people. They're really loving Snoop Dogg. I'm not sure how he relates to the Olympics, maybe for getting high, but he says he's really excited to be a part of the Olympics. He might, I don't know what he's going to partake other than that, but that's pretty interesting. He's part of the ceremonies. The opening. I didn't get to see the opening ceremonies. I have to be honest. I have not watched a lot of Olympics. I don't know when it's live. They're re-showing things because when it's prime time here, when you'd want to watch it, it's happened already, like 3 days ago. I think Paris is like 4 days ahead. So it's like we're just getting it now. It's just very confusing. So it takes a little bit of the luster out of it. I mean, don't you remember when the U.S. Olympic team won the Miracle on Ice? How wonderful was that when those collegiate athletes beat the powerhouse of Russia, of the Soviet Union, the old Soviet communist bloc, the Russians. Remember that? It was East versus West, Yin versus Yang, Oreo versus chocolate chip, 7-Up versus Sprite. But that was an incredible game, and it was really exciting. And if you remember, that did not win them the gold. That actually put them into the gold medal match when they still had to beat Finland, which they did to win the gold. So that was a really inspiring moment. Do I care if LeBron scores 70 points against some team from Uzbekistan? The tallest guy is 5'3". I mean, what are we talking about here? This is a joke. It's just a joke. But whatever. They should get celebrities to go play. Get like Kevin Hart, and send a whole bunch of celebs. Anyway. Wow, Snoop Dogg is 52. Did not know that. He looks a lot older. He does not look well for his age. But anyway, he was taking part in that. So we like that. So that's a lot of Olympic news. There was something else from the Olympics that happened. Hold on a second. Let me see if I got you something else. No, that was really all the Olympic news. Hey, did you hear about that meteor last week that went supposedly was flying past the Statue of Liberty? It says here, wait, I have a little report on this. This is no joke. It basically, NASA had reported that there was what they call a meteor fireball that had said, NASA says a meteor might have just passed over the Statue of Liberty. It says NASA, this happened this past a week, last Tuesday, that NASA says a meteor passed above parts of New York City on Tuesday morning, accounting for glimpses of a fireball in the sky, reported by several residents. It entered the atmosphere at 34,000 miles per hour, and it's believed to have passed over the Statue of Liberty, made its way through a Crunch Fitness, and right downtown at the Madison Square Garden. I added that rest of that. Before disintegrating around 29 miles above Manhattan. Thank goodness. And it said it was sighted around New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. Let's not leave out Connecticut. So many people do. Just after 11 a.m. local standard time. Boy, the weather this just adds to my confusion with the weather. Today was I had this whole bit set up for you. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down, right? The famous song by Karen Carpenter. But then the sun comes out. It turns out to be a beautiful evening. So I don't know what to make of it. But it was like pouring, thunder, sunny. This reminds me of the day after tomorrow, which is actually on AMC tonight, if you're interested. I'll be watching the Yankees and Phillies. But, yeah, it's interesting. So, luckily it didn't hit anything. 34,000 miles an hour. It was like a fireball right through the sky. So, that was pretty interesting. Oh my gosh. That was, I was watching, my mom had told me about this story. She gave me a good story for this show. It was this Dateline. She watches a lot of Dateline, too much Dateline. But she came up with a good story for me. She was talking, there is this group of young men called the Wolf Pack. It's these brothers. And you should watch this documentary. I recommend it. I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched little parts of it. But apparently this father, they lived in this apartment in Manhattan. And he kept his kids in the apartment, never letting them see daylight or getting outside of the apartment. And they had a lot of sons. It was like 4 or 5 sons. They called themselves the Wolf Pack. And the mother was there too, and nobody left the apartment except for the father. This crazy man who said how dangerous it was to go outside, and so he kept his kids basically prisoners. Boy, I'll tell you, some people just, they should not have children. But this maniac, he keeps his kids under wraps. So the only source of entertainment that these boys have is movies. For some reason, he let them have all these movies, and that's really all their education was. They were obviously homeschooled, and all the education they had was through movies. So all they knew was they watched Robert De Niro and Reservoir Dogs and Goodfellas and old movies, whatever movies. They got tons and tons of movies, and that's really the only source of outside world they had. And then finally, one of them at the age of 15 had enough and escaped out of the apartment and was just roaming around Manhattan, and police grabbed him, put him in a Bellevue hospital for a week. I should be so lucky. And that he went back to the apartment, but eventually that led to, it's a little vague and foggy, I still don't understand all of this, but that led to then everybody's trying to then step out of this and get out of the apartment, I don't know, and apparently some woman saw them and was talking to them, and all of a sudden their story came out, and it's this documentary, it's called The Wolfpack, it's good, and they all, they're pretty well adjusted for all of this. They all work in different industries, and one works as a production assistant in the movie industry and making short films. Another one does volunteer work, and they all really have put themselves out there and have done some amazing things, which just leads to my ineptitude. These young men were able to be captive, basically, held hostage, prisoner, if you will. They were fed and everything. It wasn't, I don't think they were under that. I'm dramatizing, but they couldn't get outside. And now they look great, and it culminates, the story, they're in this restaurant, the woman sets up this luncheon, and she has Robert De Niro come in and meet him. And of course, we all know what a great conversationalist Robert De Niro is. He babbles for a minute and sits down and gets up and leaves. He is the worst, Robert De Niro. I want you to go to the YouTube video of Dustin Hoffman and Robert De Niro as guests on the David Letterman show, just to see my point. He's a great actor, the worst when he doesn't have a script in front of him. This guy can't even speak. He's ridiculous. But, hey, judo is on today on the Olympics. I like that, little judo. And women's fencing, now that's something I can get into. I would definitely like to see that. And shooting, of course. Ping pong. I hope that's not at the same time, shooting and ping pong. Handball. Weightlifting is something I'm very interested in. The U.S. is actually sending... Now, look, I get it. For TV coverage, to get eyeballs on the screen, you promote the two sports that get people to watch. Gymnastics, swimming. That's what gets eyeballs on the screen. People love to see people in the water, come out of the water with the arm up in the air. That gets views, right? And then they pan to the family jumping up and down with the flag, right? And this moment is brought to you by Bob Costas and the rest of the idiots at the Olympics, including Snoop Dogg. I get it. I can produce this. I've been watching this for many years. This is the scenario, right? We love, and then they're on the front of the cereal box and stuff like that. Now the weightlifting though is appealing. I always find that very interesting. It gets no love, no coverage, nothing. They're looked at as freaks just because they do an enormous amount of anabolic horse serum. There's nothing wrong with that. Actually, the U.S., which always gets housed in this, because let's face it, you're trying to compete against these Eastern Bloc countries, Poland, these countries they've been lifting baby calves and cows since they were 5 years old. That you're not beating these countries. But the U.S. is sending a pretty good team this year. They have it's led by Hampton Morris. Olivia Reeves, she's supposed to be some really good powerhouse lifter. She's won some national competitions, silvers, things like that. Jordan Dela Cruz, she's another big-time lifter. Wes Kitts and Mary LaPon. So it's about a 5-team contingent that the U.S. is sending. So, but it doesn't start, I think it starts later in the week. It's one of the last events, weightlifting. I love that. They do the clean and jerk and the snatch, and, you know, those are the overhead lifts. But they just never show it. I get you don't want to waste time on showing, but all athletes, they work very hard, and you should try to show a little bit of everything. I get you want to just show your gymnastics and pound that home and pound that story home. I understand. I make entertainment, and I know. That's why I focus, you know, if I just showed an hour of Steve, you wouldn't be interested. You got to have a lot of me in there. I understand. I know what you people want to see. I get it. Speaking of Steve, I wonder, he was supposed to call in today, or maybe call in. I don't know. It's always hard to figure out what he's doing. We're coming up on the 7 o'clock hour. It's gorgeous outside. I tell people, go for a walk. There was a story here. Let me get to this story about dads. This was a story about dads. Now let me see if I can find it. There it is. The truth about dad bods. So they have that saying, a dad bod, which is like, you know, when your dad gets that dad bod where he's got the little stomach and, you know, and things like that. And they're blaming it. It's unavoidable, even if nature helped make it happen. And what they're saying is when you have your testosterone level drops and you get a paunchier physique, that little paunchier stomach, biological traits take over, and yada, yada, yada. No. Here's the truth. The children take your soul. They take every last bit of hope and soul out of you. So any drive, when you have kids, and I see this in the market, I see the kids torturing their parents. I was a child, I understand. It's just, you're just screaming from the time you're born until you graduate high school. It's one long 18-year scream. And sure, as a parent, you almost give up. And that's what happens to dads, and they call it a dad bod. So, but, it says leave the chicken nuggets. You know, sometimes you pick off your kids' plates. Kids eat a lot of that bad food, and you're always picking on it. I understand you got work, stressful, you're eating on the run, you're really, all of it. I get it. I train these people. I understand. But, and it gives you some suggestions talking about total body exercise. So what I would say is after the Steve Square show, and not a minute before, it's a beautiful time. This is the time you go for a walk. Let the kids stay home, no matter how old they are. I don't know when they start needing babysitters, but they're fine. This is where a dog comes in handy. You let the dog watch the kids. You go with the missus, or whoever your companion might be, and you go for a nice after evening stroll. I always said this, 30 minutes a day of walking can burn up to 500 calories. And 3,500 calories equals a pound. You can lose 1 to 2 pounds easily a week. And if you're just walking, people lose tremendous amounts of weight just by walking. But let's say you want to interject a little exercise. That's great too. You don't even need a weight. You could do self-body exercises. What is a self-body exercise? Maybe you do a push-up. If you can't do your own body weight, go on your knees and do a push-up. Use a chair. Sit down and stand up. There's plenty of things. The old-time Jack LaLanne, he says it was named after him, the jumping jack. It wasn't really. If you read my book, Jack does claim that the jumping jack, but it was a little bit before. But we'll give it. He was running around doing his dancercise and his sweating to the oldies. So it's about moving. right? Moving generates the burning of calories, increasing of your metabolism, and all of these processes in the body helps lose weight, keeps you fit, keeps you in shape. That's all. So don't worry about having to find time to go to a gym. You don't need to. Do it right in the house. If you don't have time to run to a gym because you got to take, Bobby here, Susie there, don't worry about it. But don't let someone say you have a dad bod. That's not right. It's not right. It makes people feel bad. Don't want a dad bod. They don't say anything about a mom, right? They blast the dad. But it's true for both. It's hard. I get it. It's hard to find time to exercise. But, speaking to a dumbbells trainer, you understand that the importance. And, of course, eating right. We talk about that all the time. Eating not those chicken McNuggets, definitely not a liverwurst sandwich. You want to eat really good, healthy foods. What have we talked about? We talked about any kind of good berries are really good for you. Any kind of oatmeal is really good for you. So that's, little coconut water, all those kind of things, bananas, everything. Those are healthy. Oh my gosh, good gracious. We have a call. Who could it be? Hello?
Hello?
Can I help you? You're calling? You're live on the Steve Squared Show.
Yes, sir. I want to speak to dear Amy.
Dear Amy, unfortunately, is no longer with us. But I can help you with any problem you might be suffering.
Oh, I don't know about that. Is Dr. Phil over there, maybe? I could talk to him.
We don't have Dr. Phil. I really think you need to go with Funny Man Stevie K. What seems to be the problem on Monday evening tonight? What's troubling you?
I don't know. I think, I think maybe I could use some help with my dieting. I think I eat very well, and
okay.
I don't understand why I continually gain weight.
Well, now it's funny that you call right on our fitness segment. I hope you were watching because we were just talking about how people are ashamed. They call it dad bods, and they said, how can we fight this term, the dad bod? And I just said, do some move. You don't have to join a gym. Do some exercises. So like. You're a walker. Do you go for? You used to really enjoy going for a walk at the beach. Are you still doing that?
I sometimes I like to walk. Yes.
Now I know you, Steve. By the way, for those of you just wondering who the caller is, that's our wonderful the Emster, Steven the Emster. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on?
Now, I know you've been you're definitely a walker. You've walked all over the place.
I've been around.
You've been around the block, so to speak. Speaking around the block, did you notice the area has been doing a lot of construction lately in Massapequa in the area? Did you notice anything? They're doing something over by Lakeshore. There's a lot of things going on.
By Lakeshore? No, I didn't see anything over there.
Oh, yeah, they blocked off the blocks. It was the whole thing.
Oh, they would do. Well, that was a while ago, right?
No, just today. I saw it today. They're using one of those things to dig up the street.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. So Steven, have you give us a report now? Give us an Olympic report. What have you been dialed in on? Have you been watching the Olympics?
I don't watch the Olympics until the curling comes on.
Now, well, that's in the Winter Games. So. For the summer games.
There you go.
So you're not even watching any of this.
Okay, I didn't see anything. I did see. I saw most of the opening ceremonies.
Now, what is this Snoop Dogg? What is his participation in this event? Why did they get the Snoopster?
I don't know. Why did they get Lady Gaga? Why did they get? I don't know. I don't know. Usually you get people from from your country people, but no, you're bringing in.
But that's what I'm confused about, because in the day, right, you had the great image of Muhammad Ali lighting the whatever, and you try to get past athletes or past things like that. Okay, Snoop Dogg won the Getting High contest. I don't understand. What is his relationship to carrying a torch, other than smoking it?
really couldn't tell you. He does smoke a lot of weed. You know?
All right. Well, that could be that. That could be in the next Olympics. It's getting high. Drop it like it's hot, right?
Exactly. Can I compliment you right now?
Sure.
Usually
I love a compliment.
When we're in the studio and we do the show.
Yes.
Your hair is borderline insane.
Oh.
Today it looks so much more well controlled than.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, I did get a haircut recently, and I did before. If you would have saw it about 5 minutes before the show, you wouldn't have said that. I ran into when I set up the show and I could see myself first. I got scared. And I ran into the bathroom and did a little, I like a headband. I'm a headband guy. You know me.
Yes.
I like to
interlocking NY.
Oh, sure. I like to rock the headband. Actually, I should be wearing. Where is it? Oh, yeah. Here we go. I got the red, white, and blue headband right here. There we go. USA. Let's go. Rocking the USA. So I was telling people judo is on tonight. I'm going to lock into that.
Judo?
Yeah, a little judo, or is that, maybe I'm watching Cobra Kai. I don't know. No, there's going to be judo on tonight, fencing, with, fencing.
Yes, I do. On guard.
On guard, exactly, especially for Paris, that's perfect. And I was watching an unbelievable ping pong match last night. These guys are crazy. I can't even see the ball, they hit it so hard.
They need to bring Forrest Gump back into the Olympics.
Yes. Tom Hanks would have been fantastic in that. They would have gave us the gold. Now, have you ever played ping pong? What would you consider yourself on a ping pong level?
Probably pretty piss poor, I would say.
I'm a good ping pong player. We had a ping pong table for many years. Actually, I had suffered a ping pong scar. If you see here, I'll put it really close. You can't see. Hold on, my ping pong scar. There it is.
I'm not going to see it for another 20 seconds.
Oh, you'll see it. You'll see it tomorrow when the delay.
I'll let you know when I see it.
Steve's on a half-hour delay. Steve's actually at the Olympics reporting. Now, first I thought it was the Ozempics, but it's the Olympics. I got it confused. But what had happened was we had a ping pong table that folded up, and me and my friend were carrying it one night. And it opened up, unfortunately, on our hands, and I almost lost a finger.
Wow!
It was one of the worst accidents I've ever suffered. I don't want to hear about people. This was worse than if I would have had to go to war. I mean, this was terrible. This was really. Now I have breaking news, and it's great that you called in for this.
Really?
Yeah, I have breaking news, and it has to do with one of my favorite shows growing up. I don't know if it was yours. You take the good, you take the bad, and there you have.
It's the facts of life.
You have the facts of life. I've learned the facts of life by watching the facts of life. What was that from? Do you remember what that was from?
I don't.
Cable Guy.
Oh.
Jim Carrey's screaming. He goes, I learned the facts of life by watching the facts of life.
Well, that makes it funny then.
Yes, there you go. Thank you. So, apparently, Mindy Cohn, affectionately, Natalie. You remember Natalie?
Yes, of course you do.
Natalie was the funny one, because, of course, they have to make the one that's a little overweight the funny one. That had been a very Hollywood stereotype for many years. You're a little overweight, you'll be funny. You're the funny one. So, and, of course, her friend, Tootie, Kim Fields.
Uh-huh.
Kim Fields is rocking right now. Did you ever see her? Wow.
Oh, she's great.
Yeah. Oh, I love Kim Fields. And then, of course, Nancy McKeon.
We like Nancy. She's nice.
Biker chick. Everybody loved the biker chick Jo of the 80s. She was the biker chick of the 80s. Jo.
Yeah.
And then, of course...
And there was Lisa Whelchel.
Lisa Whelchel, yeah. Blair. The very snooty, rich... very Farrah Fawcett, if you will. It was the Farrah Fawcett of the Facts of Life show. She had the feathered hair. Great look. I was always... Did you have a favorite on that? Now, you know who made his one of his TV debuts on that show. Let's see how good you are. He made a cameo, but it was one of his earliest TV appearances.
I know, this might be a tough one.
This is going to be, you'll never get it.
Clooney.
Of course. Why do I bother? George Clooney made a cameo on there a couple of times. He was he was on a few episodes. Apparently, when they did one of those live shows that Norman Lear was doing, they had done a table read or something of the facts of life, and they got a great response, and Norman Lear was blown away and said, hey, we might think about a reboot of The Girl's Older Now.
Because the success of the other shows.
Right.
The Different Strokes and
yes.
The All Family and all that. Yeah.
So he's thinking of a reboot. This is while he was obviously still alive.
Oh.
And what had happened was the four girls during the pandemic were talking about it, and they were all still very close, and they were on Zoom talking about it, and they were all set. Now, Mindy Cohn was just on Sirius XM the other day, 2 days ago, and she dropped this little tidbit. She said, one of the girls went behind our back and tried to negotiate a deal for herself to have her own spin-off show. And it created a very cavalcade of destruction. The reboot is gone. It's dead. The girls are not talking to this one girl.
Right.
Do you know? Now, it's obviously not Natalie. She's the one. Who would you think went behind the back with a dagger and really, she said, I'll tell you the facts of life. Let me give you the facts of life. I'm going to get a show by myself.
Well, funny you should say that, because I followed this story also as well.
Oh, good.
And even before I finished reading this, I knew exactly
I think most people
who
do.
she was talking about.
Yes.
Especially, of course, it wasn't Kim.
Right.
And it was because she was in the picture with Trudy.
Right.
And I don't think Nancy would be that bad, but
No.
I think it would have to be Lisa Wetzel, that God-fearing woman. That
Yes. So she said when she was doing her little radio bit the other day, she said, I'm not going to say who, but if you go to my Instagram and you'll see who I'm, you'll see pictures of everybody I'm with, and you'll see somebody that I'm not, and that's not on my Instagram, so obviously everybody did, and it was Lisa. And but it strikes me odd, because she's hardly a star, and if you even have a chance with a Norman Lear to resurrect something, it's not like Lisa's all over the place and it's like, I better strike now. Who would watch I don't understand where and who and how she would think of that would be a better idea.
I don't know.
Like, what show would people watch starring her? Like, it's not like she wasn't going to get paid from a reboot of The Facts of Life. Probably would have did pretty well.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know.
Now, did you also watch Silver Spoons?
I mean, I never really either shows. I never really watched a lot of. I definitely didn't watch Silver Spoons.
I'll tell you though, there is a show that's been on one of these channels. I found one of these channels on Optimum in the 100s. I think it's like 121 or something. It's the old sitcoms, and I found Boy Meets World.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a funny actor. Fred Savage's brother was very good in that show.
Yes, his brother's a good actor.
Yeah, I really liked him, but I don't think has he done anything as an adult?
Yeah, he was doing some acting, but he was actually, what's his name, Randy?
No, is it Ben Savage?
Ben Savage, that's right. Ben was actually trying to make a run for Congress.
I heard that. That's right.
For the spot that Adam Schiff was the representative for, because he's running for senator now.
Uh-huh.
And and supposedly he was. I don't know if he still is, or if it really didn't happen. I'm doing my little research right now to see if that's.
See what's going on with Big Ben. See what's going on with Big Ben. And we're not talking about Ben Affleck.
Okay. He's been doing a lot of politics. He hasn't won anything, but he's been doing a lot.
He's politicking.
He was up for the Democratic primary, and he lost to a state assemblywoman.
Oh. Well, I guess that show wasn't that good then. He didn't get enough voters. I always thought Fred Savage would make a great politician.
He would, but he's had somewhat of a dark, things have been happening, and things have been coming out, So,
he had a few. Yeah, his wonder years weren't so wonderful. Now, have you seen? This is good because you're a movie guy. I was going to mention a little bit about a couple of movies they're talking about. Obviously, did you see the Wolverine Deadpool movie yet?
I am looking forward to seeing it. It looks great.
Yeah, it's got good reviews. Our friend Adam.
Is he producing it?
He's not, but he did see it. He's trying
to get it now. He's trying to get it on Broadway.
Now they're gonna do the Broadway version of Deadpool, starring. He said I might have a spot. He thinks I'd make a good Wolverine with this hair. So I'm gonna let my nails grow. But it did get some good reviews. They said it's very. He said it was. He saw it the other night. Said it was very funny, really good. And of all the Marvel, I like Deadpool, and you can't beat Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman.
No, definitely not. But you shouldn't be confused with Hugh Jackman. Shouldn't be confused with your stage name that you had recently for a brief amount of time, and that Huge Jackman.
Yes.
Was the name, right?
Yes, that was when I was Huge Jackman, and I was doing some small independent films.
Independent films, of course.
In Uzbekistan, which, by the way, just won their first medal. in the tug of war.
You know what? The world needs a big star like Hugh Jackman, right?
I think so.
You could have been that.
I could have been that. You could have
slayed them in Hong Kong. Seriously.
I would have, but my feelings about traveling to Hong Kong right now. I don't know if it's ever a good time to travel to Hong Kong. Unbeknownst to my agent, who's very upset with me, and says, "I don't understand. You got a chance. You got a chance, kid, to make it big in Hong Kong." But you know me. I like to stay in the States. Now, here's another movie I thought I would have been good in. Twisters. I'm big on the weather, and I do love I love a tornado. So it says here. Here's the plot. Now this is a new Twisters. Obviously, this is not the Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt vehicle.
No.
This is Daisy Edgar Jones, Glenn Powell, and of course Anthony Ramos. It says here a young.
Who's Daisy from?
I don't know who any of these actors are, to tell you the truth. It says a young scientist and a flashy YouTuber, of course they have to make it now, team up to stop a rash of deadly tornadoes. Can you stop tornadoes with the YouTube video? I don't know, but they're going to try. So what happens is, now this is the controversy. The director dropped this little hint, and in the scene, the mother of the girl Daisy, who's the YouTube scientist, is now going back to try to save, with the tornadoes. She had lost a bunch of friends and, the same type of thing. And her mother comes and emerges from the darkness to talk sense into her. So now who does everybody think the mother is going to be?
Helen Hunt?
Helen Hunt, of course. And that's, the director even said, we were talking and blah, blah, blah. But who emerges, and I'm giving the spoilers, so if you haven't seen Twisters, cover your ears.
I know the cast, so I do know.
So it was Maura Tierney.
Who plays the mother in the Iron Claw, the wrestling movie.
Yes, who I was kind of back and forth with. I didn't love it, and then I watched it, and then I it's like I don't like it, but I keep watching bits of it. I've never seen the whole thing. It's kind of long.
Well, I'll tell you, my mom watched it, and my mom really, really liked it. I was surprised. I didn't know if she was going to watch it. She said, this is the first movie I really liked in a long time. She said.
Did you watch it?
I did see it.
And what did you think?
I thought it was very good. I thought it was extremely sad.
Yeah,
really is. It's just
yeah,
absolutely horrible.
It's the truth.
His father was just did nothing for this family whatsoever.
Oh gosh, I mean,
did no, really. Ugh.
I mean, it was it's the story of this wrestling family, and led by this father. And the thing that's weird, though, and this is what I don't understand, and they were from Texas. There's only one surviving son. The others committed suicide, died. Terrible. Shot themselves. It's just terrible. Zac Efron did a good job. I thought he was good.
Yes, he was.
He's a good actor. I like Zac. Now, yeah. But what I don't understand is and you know a little bit about wrestling.
A little.
Yeah,
not as much as
You know, you worked in the industry.
I did. It was very, very. I was on the very, very far edge of the industry. I did that.
I thought you were one of the. You didn't do the pile driver from the ropes. You weren't. They didn't call you the Emster.
No, they didn't. I really wanted to do a good cage.
I can see you in a cage match. Now, what I don't understand about that movie is, wrestling is not real. It's scripted and fake.
Well, let's be honest. Let's not call. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just give credit where credit's due. You're right. It's not. It's certainly it's all decided.
Right.
It certainly is real.
Well,
these people.
Right. They get hurt.
These people get hurt.
Yes.
Some of them die.
Yeah. No.
This is not. Maybe that. I think that's really what gets their goat when you say it's not real.
Right.
That's very real.
It's real in that sense. Yes, they do get hurt. They do. I mean, look, they're very athletic. I mean, they're not using stuntmen to jump that high and fall, and it's all of it's very artistic and tough and all of it. But it's not like an outcome is not you got a chance to win. If it's decided who's going to win, you're not it's not like, oh, I hope I win this match. They all know, and that's who they promote, and so forth. But in the movie, it gives you the indicate, like the father is like yelling at the son, at Zac, and he like almost like he had a chance, or they're deciding, they're like, oh, like almost trying to win, as if they could win just by wanting to wrestle better, as opposed to it being somewhat decided. That's what's confusing to me. Like, why are they pitching it as that a little bit? I don't know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It had the feeling that they were trying to make wrestling real in that sense. Not like, I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying like they had a chance to win if they just worked a little harder or something like that. When I thought it was fixed, but whatever. So Twisters, any desire to see Twisters?
Yeah, so I might. It looks like interesting.
Now the one I wanted to see got lambasted. Fly Me to the Moon with Channing Tatum and Scarlett Johansson.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't do. It got a little bit. Twisters, it says, a breezily entertaining sequel, though it won't blow away the original. Oh, sure.
Are you writing for these guys now?
You would think so, right? That sounds like a Steve K line. Now, hold on a minute. They're giving, it says here, Fly Me to the Moon was a dud. It gave it a dud. No good. But it says what were some of the hits? They said the Marvel, Deadpool. They said the Bad Boys sequel did well.
I would think that would do well.
The Kevin Costner vehicle got just shellacked. Horizon or whatever it was called. Yeah, they even canceled the second one. There was going to be another one. They already disposed of it. But this Despicable Me 4 did really well. $574 at the box office.
Oh wow! Oh, that's very good.
Did you ever watch any of those Despicable Me's?
I think I saw the first one.
I'm not
I
sure.
might have seen the Minions movie after that. I don't
Oh,
know.
the Minions. I get confused. Wait, is Minion a Despicable Me? Is that what? Are they the same thing? I don't.
Yeah, those are the Minions worked for the guy. Yeah, they were the Minions. And
Oh,
yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah, and they made movies with the Minions, just Minions too. So
Oh, this is good. Steve will be good on this because Steve knows his Long Island history. I was looking at this story. Rolling into Long Island's skating rink past, and they're trying to open more skating rinks on Long Island.
oh sure.
Now, they list a couple. Which one do you fondly? Did you go to these kind of indoor roller skating things as a youth, or as Joe Pesci says, a ute?
The only one I ever went to was the USA, I think, at least on Long Island. Yeah.
United States of America.
Yes.
Or was that what it was called? Yeah.
USA, United States of America.
Now they have Bayshore has a rolling rink. It says after closing Levittown, America on Wheels went to Bayshore. Was there one in Levittown?
Yes, there was.
Interesting. So,
But you know, Steve, ice skating sounds a lot more fun to me.
I was running the other day and I saw a couple rollerblading. Did you ever rollerblade?
I did do some rollerblading.
I think that would be a good Olympic sport. Well, they should get, the roller derby. That would be fantastic. You can get countries to just go at it against each other.
Oh wow!
Wouldn't you love roller derby in the Olympics?
That might be a little scary.
That might start international problems. And but I never roller skated. I never really other than a bicycle, I was never that much on wheels.
No.
No, I was.
Really?
Yeah, I was just the bicycle thing. I wasn't much of a skateboarder. I wasn't a skateboarder either. But I have ice skated before. It's very hard. It hurts my ankles.
I'm always surprised when I hear things like this. And you're so strong.
But
you really are.
Thank you, but it's tough on the. Have you ice skated? You've ice skated.
I do. I have. I haven't in a while.
I feel like it's a little. Yeah, it's tough on the ankles because you really. I guess until you become better at it, because you're trying to balance, so you're shaky.
Yes, that's true. And I'm not a good skater either. I can't go backwards and I can't stop. So it's pretty funny to watch me skate.
Stopping is one of the best parts of anything in life.
Of all the places, where I started ice skating, not really that much here, but in LA. So of course, because it's 90-something degrees outside, and I wanted to cool off, so I went into the ice rink and skated. I went back home. You'll love this. I went back home.
Yeah.
Back to New York once, and I was in Penn Station, and I went into, of all places, Jerry Crosby's. Remember Jerry Crosby's?
I don't. What is that?
Okay, Jerry Crosby's was a skate shop.
Okay. Oh, okay, yes.
And ice skating.
Yeah.
They specialized in hockey. And
right, I remember, yes.
And it used to be right there in front of Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought a pair of ice skates. The CCM tax. And I still have them.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if they work still. I don't. Do ice skates just stop working? I don't know.
I think if you combine the sports and did bowling on ice skates or roller skates would be fun.
What about curling on ice skates?
Well, curling is on ice. It almost is like that, right? It's very slippery.
You would think that, right?
Oh, sure. Now, if they had a real big curling champion that could push a certain sneaker or a certain something, then you'd have something there. Now here, yeah.
I think you could be that guy.
That's what I'm thinking. I feel like curling needs some more attention. They needed someone to promote the sport, and I could just be that person. Here, let me finish off and I'll give you this. You'll like this. It's of course, we have no more Amy, so we have to ask Eric, whoever Eric is. So, dear Eric, while volunteering at my children's school, another mother came up to me, and she said to me, "Why do you wear so much makeup?" She followed that rude question with, "I think it sends a wrong message to the children." Somehow I felt as if she was judging my morality, and that my presence was not welcome around the students. Even though the students were asking for 5, giving me singles, asking me for lap dances. That part I added. How should I have responded? Now, how should she have responded, Steve? Should she have told her to MYOB?
Right on, girl.
Thank you. Or, what do you think? So, what Eric says, he applauds her for not causing a scene in front of the students and to just, keep wearing what she wears. Boy, you got a lot of uptight, angry people out there in the world. That's what I've noticed. Let me ask you this question. My brother was telling me that he was in a store the other day and he was waiting online and he was next or what have you. And a guy came up and cut everybody and went right to the front and ordered his order. And my brother confronted him and said, because, my brother is very Deadpool Wolverine. He was not having it. So he goes up and he confronts the gentleman, I use the term loosely, and says, "Hey, there's a line here." And the guy says, "I don't care. I'm in a rush." What would your response be?
I said, "Oh."
Now, you're in the industry. You're in the service industry. So I'm sure there's been times where people have been like, "I was next." But you have a good system over there, so.
Well, if I'm at the register, I'm gonna pick the person who if I do notice, I would say, "Oh, this gentleman was here before you."
Right. Very simple. Very simple. You're the employee. You control the situation and diffuse it. But I guess that employee wasn't paying attention or didn't know. You know, it happens a lot. So, would it have been an all-out fisticuffs, or would you have just chalked it up to another maniac on Long Island that you probably want to not infuse?
I don't know what I would do. I mean, if I didn't see it, I really couldn't.
No, but what if you were the customer that he said that to, like my brother? Like, that's what I'm saying. What if he said that to you? He said, "I don't care. I'm next."
Well, I don't know. I would say you're not. I don't know what I would do. I'd probably say, "No, you're not. Get back into the end of the line."
You know what I would do?
Oh, yeah.
It would have been an all-out barrage. That would have been over. There would have been a brouhaha and a melee at the same time.
There you go. Look, I found a Dear Eric question.
Oh, okay.
Can I share this with you?
Yeah, I love Dear Eric, sure.
Dear Eric.
Okay.
I had a conversation with some pals and disclosed that I am biased against seriously overweight people.
Oh, I've read this. Yes, I saw this one.
I am talking about people who are so overweight, they must use scooters to get from their car to anywhere. They are so overweight that they are often afflicted with type 2 diabetes. They have to take medication to moderate their excess fluids. I am disgusted when seeing overweight actors in commercials and television shows. I disagree with the normalization of being overweight. I believe it is not healthy or something noble. I myself am moderately overweight, 5'6", 180 pounds.
It's more than moderately.
That's for the ladies out there.
That's more than moderately. But okay.
And I hate it. I had a professional career in the entertainment industry and fought my way the entire time. The times I weighed less, I got hired for more work. And I feel better and can function better when I weigh less. So, am I the jerk? Signed, Sizing Up Others.
Oh. You know, it's funny, I did read that, and I was contemplating that or the one with the makeup, and yes, I did look at that one, and I did hear Eric's response.
Sizing.
Yes. Yes, you are a jerk. But?
Yes, why are you thinking so much about other people's bodies? When people complain about fatness, they like to state that obesity is an epidemic. But unless you are an epidemiologist, did I say that wrong?
I think that's right. I
I'm
wanted
not a doctor, but I play on TV.
Sure.
I am not sure what you're adding to the conversation. Taking offense to another person's size is a waste of time. But you are part of the culture and an industry that has taught you to hate fatness and to see being overweight as a moral failing. This is not your fault. No one is immune. A couple of years ago, celebrity rapper Cardi B received an Instagram comment from a fan who speculated she was pregnant. Cardi B shot back that she was not pregnant at the time and added, "Let me fatten in peace." What a phrase.
Oh, sure. She's actually a wonderful writer, Cardi B.
One of
the great laureates of our time.
I've read her work.
Wonderful.
You know, it is true, and you and I both work in that business. And,
sure.
You know, let's be honest. Do we want to be honest?
Let's be honest. This is the show to be honest. I'm always honest.
You know, when you hear things from some people saying that person is, quote, built like a pillow, unquote, you know, yes, maybe we are guilty. Steve.
I thought that was one of the greatest quotes of our time.
Really?
I think that's way better than "let me fatten me." You're built like a pillow. You know, that's one of the best lines that we've been around. But in all fairness, well, you know, I have one thing to say, and I'll quote the great Jack LaLanne. Your waistline is your lifeline. And I'll leave it at that.
And then another thing that Jack said, is Mother there?
Is Mother there? Mother?
Can you get her out of the kitchen and tell her to come in? Jack wants to see her.
Tell her Jack would like to see it. Oh, go kids, go run and get Mommy. I'm going to wait here with Happy. Me and Happy will sit together. Yes, the great Jack LaLanne. Now, the great Jack LaLanne would never stand for this. He would say the same thing.
Yes.
You look like a pillow. You're built like a mess. Let's go. Get up. And they play that great organ music.
He wouldn't tell you, you know, it wouldn't be that way. He was very positive. Jack
was very positive. And I think that's the thing. As a trainer, I always tell people when I always am about lifting people up. As sarcastic and as whatever I am, I think at the end of the day, I try to do that as a trainer. I always tell people, no, don't belittle yourself. Be positive and you know, each day do something.
Well, that's what I always liked about you as a trainer. You were always very positive to people, very entertaining, and yet very informative and helpful. And
I try to. Thank you, Stephen. I'm going to have to hire you as my agent, as my Hong Kong agent has left me. As my Hong Kong producer has dropped me. So I might have to hire you.
See what we can do.
Well, we'll see what we can do. Anyway, well, look, we're really traveling over time here. We had a lot to talk about today on this July 29th, Monday. It was a great surprise. Thanks for calling in, Steve-O.
Oh, of course, Steve.
Always a pleasure. That was fun. I'll let you go watch judo. I know you're waiting on bated breath to see who takes the gold.
I am.
In the judo competition. That might be something I could look at in 2028. I watch enough Cobra Kai. So, for myself, and for this Emster calling in, and everybody else, Kermit and the whole gang, have a wonderful week. Steve, this is the funny man Stevie K saying, have a pleasant week.
Me too.
Enjoy the Olympics. Enjoy your Ozempic and the Olympics.